What's up everybody, trueeevil here, and today I'm going to be doing a midway through the beta progress report. I think this is a really good time to do it because everyone is starting to hit level 40, and today I ended at 42, but more importantly, this is the day where everyone's going to start having in-game gear, having the in-game matrices, and that is really going to establish how the actual metagame is going to be for PvP. These early days have been sort of whoever goes first then applies CC, but now we're going to start having these shells like alicorn that are going to be able to protect us from these CC things with like Kraken and Marvel, and I'm going to show a couple of videos of that, but I'm really looking forward to the actual PvP where there's going to be multiple turns instead of trying to take one infinite turn. Um, I built my account to do PvP and PvE because I do think being able to clear the PvE the quickest is the way to go. And I'm just going to show my characters I built right now because I think that's important for when the actual game comes out. Now, what I did was I had a red, green, blue DPS for everything and one disorder constant DPS. I think that's a really good mixture of how to do it, and I prioritized them to be my 6 stars because, you know, damage is always king, and leveling up the ascension isn't going to affect speed, which is what you want most in your supports. Now, all my gear is sort of all over the place, so this isn't most of the stats, but how I ended up is I picked Chloros for my red DPS. He is one of the best single target DPSs in the game. I think Hellkid is going to outperform him in PvP, but in terms of PvE, he is a monster. And the good thing about having him on your roster for real-time arena is that I would say there's only 2 other people in the super high tier PvP that even have a Chloros. So he's a really good 5th pick just to make sure that you have a DPS. And how I built him is 65% crit rate now. I'm trying to get it to just exactly 70% because I've been using Gray a lot just because he gives that crit rate bonus and he gets a guaranteed 100% crit rate, and that pairs really well with White Fang because once White Fang hits, he's going to get a permanent 12% crit damage for the rest of the time, and then the next time White Fang procs, it's going to be 24%, and it just gets pretty nutty. So I've been doing that, and I only have 2 DPS kits equipped now, and I rotate it between Heinrich, Chloros, and Gray. Now, because I have Tiamat as my healer, I unequipped everything because I'm sort of rebuilding everything for tonight, but I am doing Tiamat with Wellspring as 12 and Strive at 8 just to get those extra turn meters so I can really try to proc her. And I'm using Alicorn because, as I mentioned earlier about PvP being sort of CC and just infinite turn frenzy, Alicorn is actually great to counter that because it's going to cancel out the CC and you actually get to have your turn instead of like I unfreeze and then the turn passes. And that's going to be huge, and I think tonight especially everyone is going to be running some sort of alicorn protection just because of how the early days of PvP have been. And because I have Tiamat on my account, I've been using Sonya as a healer. Now, she is extremely strong for PvP just because, you know, if she's stunned, she still does her end of turn heal. Or I think it might be just the frozen. She recovers from frozen and then she heals, purifies other people that have debuffs, and she sort of just can't die, and her revive is pretty insane. I've been really enjoying her. And then for the other characters I've been using is I've been going back and forth between Freya, Doki Doki, Marvel, Kraken, and I use number 41 in PvP mostly, but she does perform really well in niche roles in PvE as well. And I picked Marvel and Kraken just because Kraken has an amazing CC that is not only good for PvE content, but it's amazing in PvP content. And the video I'm going to show is with Marvel and Kraken. Now, I wasn't expecting Marvel to be the best character in the game when the beta was coming out and I was testing everything, but this turn meter minus status strike might be the most broken thing in the game. Some of the in-game bosses, I was one of the first 10 people to clear. I think it was called Dahlia. It's the giant HP sponge that you have to put buffs on yourself to make the thorns not proc. With Marvel and Kraken, and having a turn meter person plus using Chloros as a DPS, I sort of was able to infinite turn loop a couple of these bosses in the in-game boss progression. Was actually kind of insane. I might post that at the end of the video. I was experimenting with how to do the loop. I first tried to do it with Marvel number 41 and Doki Doki, but I figured out that it's actually, even though that Kraken can't CC with his ability, he can still set the turn meter effect back by 35, which for some reason worked way better than upping the turn meter by 35 for some reason. I don't know how the difference between that is, but it worked out way better this way, or with the Kraken. So yeah, that's what I did for that. And I'm gonna show some PvP, and then at the end of the video I'm gonna talk about how I think PvP is going to change from those 2 days to the end. Let's see what is gonna happen today. Most of PvP revolves around Marvel, who is this guy right here. He is the best character in this video game. And the whole point of PvP is to have some really fast character that boosts all your turn up, and then you can either out DPS or CC them into oblivion, which we're going to show that with Kraken. Now, he isn't going to get a single turn in this match, unfortunately for him. It is what it is. You have to ban Marvel, because if Marvel does that, the video game has been won. I think we are advanced at this point 3 turns above him. Maybe 4, we'll see. He's still playing though, he hasn't quit yet. So props to him. I would have quit. There we go, yeah. That's pretty much how PvP goes. You're gonna need multiple speedsters. I would call them speedsters. I count Kraken as that because he pushes the turn back and CCs them as well. And you need 1 or 2 DPSs. You can actually get away without using a single DPS. So yeah, basically as you saw, I got Marvel and Kraken and pretty much just went on an infinite turn 1 and cleared their board. Now, tonight I believe it's going to be an Alicorn meta, as well as the defense one that gives the shield to 2 people. I think those are going to be the 2 biggest new shells in PvP. I don't think a lot of people are going to be running White Fang. The stats on a fully upgraded White Fang is very marginal compared to Twilight Knight. And honestly, Twilight Knight might do more damage in terms of just for the first couple of turns. So I do expect everyone to still be running Twilight Knight, and the big thing to be the defense. I'm expecting a lot of Hellkid, a lot of Rahu, and that's going to be really different from the past couple of days. So tomorrow's video will be recapping on, is my prediction going to be correct? Is it going to be a stall meta? And then how is it going to change from there? Because I've been really enjoying how the meta has sort of changed every single day as people are learning how to do the game the most efficient way possible. So be sure to tune in tomorrow to see how PvP changed and if it even changed at all. So yeah, True Evil over and out.